has been passed in Denmark. Denmark passes law enabling forced coronavirus vaccinations. Article coming out on March 17th, 2020. Law was passed on Thursday, March 12th, 2020. Denmark has passed an emergency law that allows for the government to force people to take a vaccine for coronavirus. The emergency law gives authorities sweeping powers to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic and will remain in force until March 2021. Citizens who refuse to be tested for the coronavirus will face fines and potential prison time and will be prevented from entering shops, grocery stores, public institutions, and hospitals, while also being restricted from using public transport. As well as enforcing quarantine measures, the law also allows the authorities to force people to be vaccinated, even though there is currently no vaccination for the virus. Copenhagen University law professor Jens Elo Ritter said the new law measures were certainly the most extreme since the Second World War. The initial draft of the law was even more draconian and would have allowed police to enter private homes without a warrant if there was a suspicion of a coronavirus infection.
Hi guys, so I just want to talk a little bit more about the Mark of the Beast. I just had a video a couple days ago about the ID 2020 and the forced mandatory vaccinations that they're planning to roll out within the next several months. Please watch that video if you have not yet. It's very informative. And I just want to have a little discussion about some things that have been churning in my own mind about this. They are now coming out with laws in some European places that vaccines will become mandatory. You can't buy, sell, trade without it. Very interesting wording they have there, and imprisonment and all kinds of things. And I'm sure they're going to roll that out soon within a lot of countries over the next month or two. I wouldn't be surprised. I've been thinking a lot about the Mark of the Beast and how it says that it's going to be a mark on your right hand or forehead. And I just want to throw out an idea, and you guys let me know what you think of it. The word used there for right hand is dexios, and it can mean right side, the right side, like the right arm. And then the forehead. You know, everywhere I go in the country where I'm living right now, I can't go anywhere without them putting some device to my forehead and taking my temperature. I can't get into any building. I can't go anywhere. It's everywhere. So even when if I try to pass a certain road, there's blockades, and I have to stop my vehicle, roll down my window, and let them scan my forehead. I'm just wondering if John was seeing a vision of the future and doing his best in his day to describe what he was seeing. If he was seeing people being given these shots in the right arm, and if he was seeing everywhere you go, they will be putting this device to your forehead and scanning your forehead. And in his understanding that it was like you can't go anywhere unless you have this thing in your arm or something on your forehead.
All right, so we're going to stop that for a minute because I want y'all to, just give me y'all feedback on this. So if the virus somehow is so strong, or America is able to implement this martial law on quarantine and that turns into a mandatory vaccine, do we know what's in the vaccine? Do we know how long, what are the side effects of the vaccine, if the vaccine has any side effects at all? Do we know that the vaccine is a broken down version of the virus itself, supposedly giving us our immune system, the blueprint to completely fight off the virus at any time? All these questions we have to ask. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm the kind of guy who's skeptical about anything like this, and they even going as far as to saying that the vaccine may be a representation of the rapture and the mark of the beast. My thing is that I think it'll just kill everybody who's actually having underlying health conditions. So if you're somebody who is already having problems, especially if you're one of the old folks, that this virus or this vaccine, so to speak, which is actually a broken down form of the virus that they're saying they're going to inject in us to make certain that our immune systems are strong enough to survive. I mean, like, why aren't they giving us an allopathy instead of a vaccine? If you want to solve this problem, you could give us an allopathy, something that acts like a steroid, not something that's going to just charter the blueprint or give our immune system a blueprint of what the virus looks like, and the immune system's going to be able to break it down. I mean, that sounds like a ploy by who's ever going to get paid the most by this to continue getting people sicker and eventually allowing them to die while these so-called specialists collect all of the funds. But don't let me get you all riled up about nothing. You know, I hear a lot of guys telling me that they ain't gonna hesitate to buy more ammunition. There's a train somewhere out there in Indiana with about 50 to 60 COVID-19 assault vehicles on it, or so-called quarantine vehicles. We can get into that at another time. If you want to DM me for that, you let me know if you want to see that video, but that's what it is right now. And these trains are traveling across states with thousands of assault vehicles on them. Well, not say thousands, let's say at least a couple dozen though, with dozens of assault vehicles on them to ready any military personnel or any voluntary military personnel to come and violate your rights. And there's no wonder why the Africans are deciding to lock us out now. Now Africa's not accepting the passports and the visas from American countries. It's funny how things change. It was all good just a week ago, right? All right, this is Ben George reporting to you live. Get back to me on that, because I think we need to seek some grounded legal representation where this vaccine is concerned first. And if y'all are willing to step out and sit down with some legislature who might know what to do about this, let me know. We can gather a petition, something like that, and we'll work on it together. But realize that we're talking about an epidemic or a pandemic that has never taken place in the history of American civilization. So there's no precedent set in the doctrines or the books, the law books, that can definitely ensure your rights as a citizen or their rights as judiciary administrators. This has never been done before. Most law cases we know are one-off precedent. It's happened before. Other judges, other lawyers have spoken on this thing before, but with this pandemic, that's not the case. So be very, very careful of what you do next where this is concerned, because it's going to affect all of us, especially if you're still in the States. I'm not going to tell you where I am right now, but I'll let you know that if you want to be serious about what's going on here, you really want to be proactive in what you're doing, you'll try to go through the legal channels. You'll prepare yourself as if you were going to war. This is Ben George. I'll talk to you.